Let me see if I can get my notes up, because I had to write these notes last evening, and you'll have to, kind of, I'm kind of a little bit out of sorts. We've had an awful lot of things going on in the fishing industry right now, and this is the kind of the beginning of our potential crab season. And so we're trying to get this thing rolling and trying to get things to work. And there's a lot of things going on. So, kind of forgive me I'm shooting from the hip here. Anyway, my name is Dick Ogg, and I'm extremely honored to have the opportunity to come and speak to you, everybody here, kind of from the commercial fisherman's perspective. One of the things that's really interesting for me is that, our objective as commercial fishermen is more or less to not disturb anything, to be silent, to kind of sneak around and, access the resource and then provide that to you. And so, I think over the years, one of the things that's become more apparent to us is that we are playing in their yard or the ocean's environment. And we're visitors every day that we come out there, and to learn to respect and appreciate, the ocean environment and the creatures that live there is real critical from the commercial aspect. One of the things that I try to emphasize with my crew and the people that I'm involved with is that we want no impact to any other species except the targeted species. So that is a very critical thing that I try to make sure that people understand, that is something that we don't want bycatch. We don't want to interfere with other creatures in the water. So at any rate, I'll go to my next slide. I don't know if I did this right. It's not moving.
I figured out the problem here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, welcome to my office. Okay. It's like this in the water every day, right? In all honesty, we were out salmon fishing at this particular time, and that's about 18 miles offshore. And that's an example of just an extremely beautiful day. You get maybe one of those or three of those in a year. So, I mean, it's, normally speaking, if I tried to take pictures of rough water, it wouldn't be very appealing. It'd make you not feel very good. I mean, it's normally pretty nasty. One of the things I'd like to emphasize, not only that, we try not to interfere with other creatures, is that we as fishermen have to be extremely adaptable, and just adapting to, environmental changes, effort shifts, creatures moving to a different area, deeper water. All of that is really important to understand that, fishermen in general are extremely adaptable. And although, most of us don't want to change, but that is just the nature of the game. And you have to be able to adapt. Let's see. Do I just push it down? Just push the down arrow? Oh, okay. Well, these are some of the little buggers that are around us sometimes. And this in particular, these were feeding adjacent to us, and we always try to stay away from them. There's no reason to get around them. And in this particular instance, we were out crabbing, and there were, I'm not real sure exactly what was happening, but they were feeding. And the likelihood is that it was a sea lion of some type, that they were aggressively attacking. And here's another example of, our friends. We see them all the time. They're around us all the time. And we're very cognizant of staying clear of them. And again, this particular photo was done while we were salmon fishing. And so, we were traveling along shorelines, but more often than not, they are very close and around our crab gear, which is a vertical line in the water. What's really interesting, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that these whales are extremely intelligent. I'm sure everybody knows that, but they also are extremely aware. And we as fishermen are also very aware of those creatures. And there's another picture I have here of Point Reyes, but I've had them beside the boat traveling and paralleling me, and had them actually turn sideways and look up at me. And they know I'm there. They know that we're fishing alongside them, and they will time your movement. And as we go to pick up the pot, we have to slow down, and they will move in front of you and keep on going and go out to wherever they want to go. But they're highly intelligent. I really sense the fact that they're very aware of what we do, and we're very careful to do whatever we can to minimize any potential interaction with them. And in fact, as fishermen, we just don't interact with them. We stay away. And so it's real important to understand that is the emphasis of the commercial industry, is to make sure that we don't have those potential interactions, and that we do what we can to stay away and keep ourselves clear. And let me see where I am. And here's actually where they were feeding, and this was outside of Point Reyes, and I do believe that is a sea lion that is not very happy. When we were up in Oregon, I just to kind of fall back a little bit, I'm going to be talking specifically about hook and line fishing, because I fish for crab and pot fisheries. Crab, salmon, albacore, black cod, and rockfish, all of which are extremely sustainable, all of which have very minimal, if any, bycatch at all. So we're very careful about making sure that the products and the things that we bring to you, the public, are something that are they are sustainable. We don't hook and line fishing isn't like picking up a biomass. It's selective, and to be honest with you, all we're doing is enticing the animal or creature to bite the hook. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so that option means that when the fish decide to stop biting, they stop biting. I mean, they stop biting everywhere. It's not like they just stop in one little location. We've had it happen like for miles, 100 miles apart. Everything stops, everything, and then they all bite at once. So it's an interesting interaction. Somehow they all kind of, I don't know how they communicate, but whatever they do, they all have kind of a feeding time, or they stop. So we don't have a control on that, and it's very important to know that what we're doing is, especially hook and line fishing, is a very sustainable way to fish. Let's see, where am I? And this is a picture of Point Reyes, and that was exactly just shortly before that. That is when the humpback whale went by me and basically said hi. So the other thing that I would like to emphasize is how important it is for us as fishermen to get lost gear out of the water. And lost gear and debris in the ocean is something that we just, I personally can't accept. And we do everything we can to get that stuff out. And I try to emphasize with my crew that, you don't throw line over the water, in the water, you don't throw, anything that, everything on the boat comes back. Food, plasticware, bottles, all that was something that was years ago that was just, hey, the ocean's just kind of, that's where we're gonna, we don't need it. But I won't let any of the crew, my crew, leave anything in the water. And one of the things that's interesting is that once the guys have fished with me for a while, they'll go fish on other vessels and they help spread that kind of concept. And it's real important to be, I'm not going to say a model, but somebody who pays attention and it respects the water and respects the ocean. So, I mean, that's, lost gear like this was a situation where we picked up some 300 pots. And that's over a period of time. It's not all at once, but it's something that we do as an industry to get that and protect, the environment. So it's real critical for us. I don't know where I am here. And this is kind of the end, but I have a lot of, I'd love to be able to, I wish we had time for questions, but we don't have questions now.
We'll have a discussion period.
Oh, cool.
Right after this.
Okay, well, anyway, those are my two captains right there. Yeah, they're the ones that keep me going, and one of them's with me today, but I really thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I hope I made sense, so thank you.